Hello everyone, my name is Zach and welcome to another live stream of Stardew Valley in my 100% series. Today, I'm not going to make any promises. That's my audio. But it's possible you may be finishing Prairie King. I do have a couple of concerns as of right now. I've had issues with delayed or list achievements with this game, mostly delayed. Where I meet the requirements for an achievement, but it doesn't pop until much later. I'm confident I may be able to get the achievement for beating the Prairie King, but I'm unsure if I will be able to get the achievement for beating him without dying. If I beat the game today, if I beat Prairie King today, and I get one but not the other, if I don't get either, which I should be able to get one, it's just the other one just got a special requirement. 1 second. If I'm able to get one but not the other, I'm just going to go ahead and end the stream rather than continue the live stream and start the Judge Lamar playthrough. And I'm just going to go ahead and just go idle for a bit or whatever. Just go on YouTube, play a different game, whatever, and just see if I can get it to pop just by me doing something else. It's really like the best way for me to try and get it to pop is usually when I just offline do something else, the delayed trophy pops. So that is what's gonna happen. Like I actually had a few delayed achievements since I started 1.6 actually. So if we just go into unlock things, I think Danger in the Deep was a delayed achievement, and I think an Unforgettable Soup was delayed. I could be wrong though, but I think that was the case. Doesn't mean that these two achievements will be delayed for me, but it is a possibility. Just a warm-up. So, I don't know if I will be able to beat this today. This is a level that I actually spent over like an hour and a half trying to do last time. I will give my all. I'll try my best to get past the level. I tend to do better early on in the stream than later. So we'll see. This is also not my favorite activity to do, if I'm just gonna be honest here. Like, I don't like this minigame. It's not something that I'm used to. It's not the type of thing that I'm good at, so I'm like paying attention to all elements on the field, essentially. And there's no real way to like hide the enemies. There's no save point on this map. I got cornered there and they weren't dropping power-ups. If I shot at the guys directly below me, I would get hit by the guys to the right of me. There's nothing I could do. As I said, there's no safe places to hide or something. It's a very open map. It's pretty much all open. There's no places to go if you get trapped. There's no safe place to go to if you get trapped, I should say. So you literally just have to get lucky with power-ups. This is the one where you need power-ups to win. Like, you may be able to get away with just using, like, your, just base gun, like, on a couple of levels, but this one you need power-ups to win. There is no way in hell you can beat this level without power-ups. If you're just going naked, you're not gonna win. I'm just gonna go ahead and make that bold claim right now. You need power-ups to win. And for that to happen, we are once again fighting against RNG. Like, same thing with last stream. If we can get past this level, we should have the final regular level and then the boss, and then we're done with this game mode. We're on the second to last regular level of this game, and then we just essentially have like 3 stages left, and then we're done. I don't think there's a fourth level, fourth world. I'm actually gonna send a message to someone real quick. Yeah, she did reply to me. Okay. How much is that? Compromise. So she's offering me. I'm paying someone to design thumbnails for my for YouTube. 30 or 40 per thumbnail, whatever you think is reasonable. However, I usually charge 80 to 100 for this kind of work. Let's try and do the math. For 6 thumbnails, 50 times 50 times 6. 300. Alright, let's get going. Fucking bats. They're not dropping power-ups, it's just frustrating. Started working out at the gym again, like after like 3 weeks of maybe more than that, maybe even like a month actually, maybe a couple months. Just not exercising. I found out that I gained 7 pounds after like losing 40. Actually, is that right? Losing 20. And I decided to like go back to the gym and exercise regularly. I've been lifting weights a lot, and my biceps are actually getting like pretty big. Like I actually can remember like a moment when my muscle was just so thin. Like if I were to flex my muscle like when I was younger, it was so weird. Like I thought it was so weird, but if I were to flex my muscle when I was a kid, like you can feel like a depression in the bicep. Like it wasn't like formed fully. Dang it. You're not dropping power-ups. Like, the muscle wasn't formed fully, so it's just, it was just like weird. Like, if I were to like put my fingers like on the middle of my bicep, like on the top of my bicep, like right in the middle, like my finger was just kind of sinking into a little cavity in my bicep. But now, if I were to flex my muscle, it's kind of like so big and solid. But I still have what I call chicken wings, which, if I could show it off, is like the little flabby part of your arm, or if you were to just shake it up a little bit, like the fat just jiggles around. I haven't quite like gotten rid of my chicken wings in all the time I've been exercising. Like, it used to be so much worse. Like, there was a point like when I was in high school, I looked like I was like 9 months pregnant. My gut was so big. And the thing is, like, I didn't like expand and go outwards. My stomach literally, it just kind of went forward, like it didn't like go out. And so I looked like that I was at maybe like 14 or like all the way up to 16 years old, and I looked like I was like I looked like I was pregnant. Like, that's how fat I was. And it wasn't until like college, when I left high school and I started hitting my last growth spurt, where I essentially grew a foot. I actually started to lose weight, but then I gained all that weight back because I just wasn't really exercising. It was just so weird. Like, and as soon as I started exercising, I started losing weight again, and I finally got under, like, at one point, like, I was so close to being sub 240. I was 241 pounds, and then I just stopped exercising and started gaining all that weight back. So I just started exercising again, and don't know if I lost weight again. I'm also been trying to eat a little bit less, snacking a little bit less, still drinking like a lot of junk food. Like, I'm still drinking sodas, but I'm really willing to give up everything. I'm hoping that eating smaller portions will also help me lose weight. I always like made excuses. Like, I used to always say that, like, I used to always say stuff, like, especially in college, that I'm not that fat. Or, because people used to talk to me as if I was obese, which I was. But to me, obesity is essentially, what I consider to be obesity is essentially, like, morbidly obese, like 400 pound, 500 pound, those type of people. And it was just it wasn't until like I did some research into this, and I was talking to some of my friends, that I found out that I actually did technically classify as obesity. And just because I wasn't like the most extreme condition did not mean that I was not obese. Apparently there's like obese levels, and apparently the healthy weight for someone that is 6'3" is actually like 208 pounds according to the BMU chart. And I've been trying to like get my weight down to a healthy weight level, and I've been losing weight. Like, I was like 262 pounds, I'm like 247 last I weighed myself. Don't know if I lost weight since then, but I have been trying to exercise a little bit more. Trying to lose weight, get myself a little bit more active. It's just, it's kind of difficult to be consistent about it. Especially if you're a, I don't know what to describe myself as. I want to say like couch potato, but I don't really couch potato because I am working on stuff. Came out of nowhere. I am working on stuff, and it's just, I'm a streamer, I'm a writer. Usually I work by sitting down in front of a computer, or in this case, like playing a game sitting down. So it's I guess I just kind of got used to my sedentary lifestyle, just not really move around that much, and important to stay active, especially in America, where the most common problem among health-wise among Americans is obesity. But considering I have like a few family members, including my dad and my grandpa, who currently like live with me, I currently have several family members who have diabetes. I think it is important that I try and like stay active and I try and like lose weight to try and like uh make sure that I don't like develop obesity in the future. As far as I'm aware, like there's two different types of obesity and they're all like involves like sugar. It's either like you're producing too much sugar or you're or some of the sugars like is it called no, it's not glucose. But it's I don't know, I can't remember. It's something that is in sugar that the body needs. But if you consume too much, you become diabetic, or if you consume too little, you can become diabetic. It's like achieving like the right balance, and I can't remember what it's called. But if you consume too much sugar, if you produce like too much of that chemical, whatever it was, then you're supposed to take insulin to balance it out. And if you are producing too little, you're supposed to eat like sugar. You're supposed to eat candy to like raise the levels up. I cannot remember what that chemical is called, but it's just something that I actually don't want to experience. Actually, because I just would kind of feel so bad if I developed diabetes. Because it would just completely force me to like change my lifestyle. Like I don't want to have to like change my life dramatically because of like a health issue, but I may have to. Dang it! Finally got a power up to drop, and it was just so many enemies on the screen that I got trapped. I'm having issues aiming all of a sudden, by the way. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm trying to like shoot a specific direction, and it's just not really going that well. Like I try and like shoot down, I'm shooting down. I try and shoot diagonally, I'm shooting down. I'm gonna try something different. A little different strategy that may make it a little bit easier for me. I've been doing something weird, like you may have noticed, but I've been like shooting in like bursts, I guess you could say, where I just start shooting at one direction a little bit, then I stop, and then I shoot a different direction, and then I stop. I'm gonna try like continuous fire and just in my positioning like this. Oh no, that was actually a better run for me. By the way, my battery is glitched again, like it's stuck at 91% despite being plugged into a charger. I actually don't know if it can actually receive a charge when there's stuff running in the background. There's something I didn't notice with my phone. In fact, this actually may be an issue with power in my room, actually. I may have like a lot of stuff plugging in that I'm not getting enough power in my outlets. It's something I also noticed is when I'm charging my phone, like if I was watching like a video on my phone, like it just doesn't charge up. So maybe it's like an issue with power in my room, but if that was the case, then my stream would be affected too. What the fuck got me? I didn't even see anything there. I literally didn't even notice what killed me. It's such a pain in the neck level. A huge delay in my stream, like a 10-second delay. And check my messages. You did it? And with the power up, oh my god, this floor is even worse. It is completely open, no obstacles at all. But we just have this level and the last level, which should be the final boss. My heart is racing like a million beats per minute. Which I know is impossible because I mean I'll be dead. But it is racing. Pretty sure if that were to happen, like I would just have a heart attack or I would just die immediately. I honestly don't know what the statistics is. I know like if your heart beats fast enough, you will have a heart attack and your body will seize up essentially. And you can die from that. But if your heart is beating faster than what is typically standard for a heart attack, like what would really happen? Like I'm assuming like maybe your heart would rupture or something, but here's what would actually happen to that. Because what could actually be worse than a heart attack? Actually, it used to be a phrase, something my dad actually used to say, like, whenever I ask, like, are you serious? Response to something that I just couldn't really believe. My dad used to say, like, I'm as serious as a heart attack. We also mentioned that for the JoJo Mart playthrough, and fitting with the theme of this thing, considering I named my character in my farm after the main character from the sitcom Green Acres. I'm also gonna name my evil playthrough as sort of the antagonist of Green Acres, who is essentially a con man that kind of sells Oliver like a bunch of broken items. Can't remember what his name is, so I'm going to need to Google it. It's kind of fun. Like, in some ways, like I think Green Acres is actually considered to be a comedy. But it's just kind of sad how Oliver in the show was just trying to like pursue his dream of being a farmer. He had a wife that preferred to live in the city, and she wasn't happy living in the farm. He didn't have the respect of the other farmers because they just view him as a city slicker and just out of his element. He was manipulated and deceived frequently by a con man, essentially, who would just sell him like broken items and essentially pawn off as like actually good items, and it always ends up backfiring on him. He had like a farmhand that was just, he was a good worker, but I felt like that he was too good. Like, he knew a lot more about farming than Oliver did. So there were times when Oliver was trying to do things his way. Like, for example, like when he needed to till his field, and the con man just sent him like a broken tiller. Like a thing that you just kind of walk it like down rows of dirt and it just kind of tills the soil. The blade kind of broke off of it when he was trying to use it, so he ends up like planting the seeds by hand, like literally poking holes in the dirt as to plant the seeds. And the guy was looking at that, thought it was just the strangest thing. Is like, he never seen a farmer do that before, and it was kind of clear that it was just so unusual for a farmer to actually try and do something like that. I was not paying attention to that mummy, God. That was a really good run. I actually really I was about halfway through that level. I really wonder if I would have been able to beat it if I were to catch that guy and I were to react accordingly. Again, I zero in on one target, and it's just so difficult for me to just react in time. In any case, I think that we should have this in the bag, honestly. Like, considering I made it halfway just with the basic gun. It doesn't really seem that hard of a level. I just need to react better. It was a little bit worried when I saw it was more open than the last one, but honestly, it's not that bad. There's only 2 points where they can spawn from, so it's easier to manage. I literally can't do anything if they literally spawn right on the border when I'm buying a wall. By the way, apologies if you hear my dogs barking. We currently have painters working on painting our house, and they freak out whenever they pass a window because they're fucking stupid. I don't think it's coming up in my mic, but if it is, I apologize. My dog it's just really one dog in particular. Like, she's afraid of her own shadow. Whenever she sees a person, she barks at him. She's not gonna bite you or anything. Like, if she sees you like walking in her house, like she's not gonna bite you. She just barks because she's literally the worst guard dog. She barks at anything, anyone, and everything. Like, if it, damn it. If it is something that she does not know, like if you're walking down the stairs, like for me, I'll be walking down the stairs. Thank you for the follow, Nora Hazel. And I restart follow, girl. Nice. Nothing much. I'm doing fine. How are you? Just say, like I'll be walking down the stairs and she'll just start barking at me. Even though like I've lived alongside her since 2020, she still freaks out. No, I stream 5 days a week. She streams out. She freaks out whenever I like come downstairs because she doesn't understand that I am coming down the stairs and she thinks I'm a stranger. My dog is an idiot. I stream Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So I stream 5 days a week. Dang it. I'll be so glad once I can get this stupid Prairie King achievements done. What's your favorite game? Probably either Assassin's Creed 3 or Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. A huge Assassin's Creed fan. If you're curious, I'm trying to get 2 achievements right now. Pretty much the last thing that I am missing for that I'm going for in this particular playthrough, which is the Prairie King achievements. I'm from California. I'm going for the achievements beating Prairie King and beating Prairie King without dying. So every single time I die, I have to like quit to the main menu and load back in. California is currently experiencing a sort of crisis. Right now in LA. Can I suggest you something? Sure. What do you want to suggest? God. I can't tell you here for you need to give me your Discord. My Discord is literally the same as it's literally the same as my Twitch name, so you can just request me there. If you are an artist trying to advertise your own work, I just want to like state this. I'm not interested in hiring any artists, so if that's what you're trying to do, you may want to look for a client elsewhere. I requested you. I accepted your friend request, I mean. I think you just sent me messages. I can't really accept them, right? I can't really look at my phone right now, so I'll check after I beat this level if I can, or if I die. I died. I mean, it's nice that I got a power up. It's just sucks that I died after I ran out. I would just say, like, she did something like very strange. She sent me a message saying, "Let me show you something." And I said, "All right," but as soon as I hit "all right," the message got deleted. And then she left my stream, and she hasn't responded me back. I don't know if she was an artist trying to advertise her work, or if she just had like a suggestion to improve my channel. I get a lot of people. I swear to God, like the only people that often follow me are often artists trying to like get the clients. I have 5 artists that I'm currently working with right now. 2 main ones and a couple side ones that I'm planning on working with in the future. One person I was planning on working with to develop a website for my novel series, which I'm not going to be able to work with her for until I get my book published and I get income from it. I need power-ups to drop and they're not dropping. She just sent me another message. Just give me 1 second. Another artist. Big surprise. Big fucking surprise. Never anything else. It just kind of makes it difficult to like build an audience. That's what I've been trying to do like for a while, is to try and like build an active audience, and it's just so hard to like build an audience when every other fucking follower is a fucking artist trying to get a client. Like, I am not interested in hiring a new fucking artist. I'm so sick and tired of these people just coming in, following me, trying to gain a client, and then as soon as I say I'm not interested, they fucking unfollow me. It's so frustrating. Why can't I just get like an actual normal person? It's fucking spamming me now. Get that taken care of right now. I guess she's like a different type of artist. Like, she apparently works with web development, graphic design, that kind of stuff. Not like someone that just creates overlays, that kind of. But it's just so frustrating. I'm actually gonna hoping that when I get my first book published, my channel will actually start to gain like a lot of attention. I am planning on linking my Twitter, my Blue Sky, and my YouTube channel, my channel like that, and the and my book, so that people reading my book will see that I have those accounts. They'll follow me there. I don't know if that's gonna work. For all I know, like, the first book is going to flop because no one knows what it is. But I'm gonna try and like advertise the hell out of it so that people will know of its existence. It's just kind of frustrating. I've been streaming since 2020, and I tend to average like 1 or 2 viewers per stream for the entirety of I've been streaming. Like, I would be lucky if I could just get 2 or 3 actually, and I average on 1, and I'm pretty sure that 1 is myself, which is watching the stream on my laptop. Okay, trying to focus on the game. Hopefully I won't get like any messages on my phone this time in the future. She ended like the conversation with God bless you. I ignored that phrase. Not so much that I have really problem with that phrase or religion or anything. It's just I know like several people that claim to be religious and they're just so like so against like what their religion actually stands for. You'd be surprised how many people in America claim to be Christian. And they're just like the most bigoted, hateful people on the planet. And my grandpa, bless his heart, he was a Southern Africanism, claims to be a Christian, yet he is so fucking racist. Like, back in the most recent election, like he always referred to Kamala Harris as some sort of ethnic slur, or it's just like made like a sexist remark regarding her. He at one point referred to Barack Obama as a monkey, which is just so fucking racist towards. It was such a racist comment, but it's just like who my grandpa is. Like he's kind of grew up in an era where like that type of thing is acceptable, unfortunately. Like it's just how he was raised. I want to like get it out of him, but it's just so frustrating because he is a decent man, like if you get to know him, but he's just so racist and sexist. Unfortunately, there's like a lot of people out there that are Christians, but they are exactly like my grandfather. I don't really necessarily have a problem with people that use that phrase, God bless. I just kind of have a problem with some of the people that really use a phrase like that and are not exactly good people. One thing I do appreciate about religion, it's not coming from someone who is religious myself. I'm considering myself to be an atheist. I do like how religion tends to guide people to living like a good and honest life. The Christianity just kind of teaches people to like love thy neighbor and all this kind of stuff. Like the whole like story about Jesus Christ was talking about the concept of forgiveness, but some people just ignore some of those themes of the Bible and they just are just horrible people. God, just give me a power up! God! You need to give me power ups for me to do something. My God. Actually, I wouldn't really actually consider myself to be an atheist per se. It's just, I don't really follow Christianity. There's no real religion for what I actually believe in. I do believe in an afterlife, but I don't believe that it's like admittance into like the afterlife is not based on a religious preference. There's so many religions in the world. I choose to believe that it's based on the actions you do in life. Like if you live a good life, your good actions outweigh your bad, then you'll be rewarded. If you live a bad life, your bad actions outweigh the good, then you'll be punished. That's what I choose to believe in. And it's actually preferable in my eyes to something that my old science teacher used to say, which is that the only thing you have to look forward to with death is to be fertilizer in the ground. He said that at one point. It was just such a horrible thing to say, at least to me, because it just kind of like scared me. So I just kind of choose to like believe in what I believe. And unfortunately, I'm like the only one that kind of feels that way, that believes that way. Whenever I kind of bring that up to my mom, like it's just so fucked up. Like she is resigned to believe, she is kind of accepted that I will go to hell when I die and she will be in heaven. Like that is such a fucked up thing to say. How could a mother be so willing to say that about her son? Just because I am not religious. Oh, how disappointed I was when I heard mom say that. Really beginning to have trouble now. I'm starting to like zone out a bit. It's so nice that I could get this done today, but it's beginning to have like a lot of trouble. Like, again, this is another level where you're gonna need like RNG, like good RNG in order to get past this. I swear to God, like there's so many, it opens up with so many bats. I think because there's only 2 exits here to a place where enemies could come from, that they're just finally get a power up, and I freaking died to it. If I was able to get that second shotgun before I despawn, I may have been able to get further. I just would like to sheriff's badge, if I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Kind of trivialize the whole thing. We are getting power-ups and we are able to get like a lot farther with it, but it's just we are not getting good power-ups. We're either getting small bombs or getting shotguns. Like always gonna get. I will say, it feels like it is 60 degrees in my house. Like our heater is broken and it's like dead winter. I'm freaking freezing my hands. I can feel my bones in my hands feel cold. That's how cold it is. I can. It's so cold that my hands are freezing. Also, something I also noticing a lot of these people that try and like advertise their own products, their own services, they always ask like a few questions before they like offer their services. I guess like they're trying to warm me up or something. Maybe like a good business strategy, but it's a very good tell. Apologies, my commentary is kind of lacking again, like with this thing. It's just this is not a fun game mode for me to play. It's just not fun at all. I'm like on the last level of the final world, so if I can just get past this, I should be able to beat the boss relatively easily, assuming that the brick works against him. There's actually a couple different strategies I heard of, and they're all like based on your positioning. That essentially makes it so that you can't get hit from his attacks. The one I'm gonna try and use, it actually it may be patched out because I would be very surprised if that doesn't actually work. With all the updates that came out after this game released. Eventually we'll get this done. I would like to be able to get it done today. Already an hour into the stream and we're only done one level. I also haven't eaten anything for lunch. I just had like 2 cups of coffee and I'm drinking a Sunkist right now. I essentially only had liquids to consume. I'm back to end the stream like early to just eat. But I'm gonna try to hold off. I was so fucking stupid. I will say, people and watched some of my recent streams may have heard me talking about my journey through watching classic Doctor Who. I'm like on season 4, like the first season of the Patrick Troughton era, and watched the serial The Faceless Ones. which essentially involves aliens that use technology to shapeshift into humans. And it's clear to me that it was meant to be like a prototype Zygon story, which is like an iconic villain in Doctor Who that are able to transform their entire body, like of their own like free will and their own power, into human beings, where they copy their exact likeness, even like their physical defects. Like people with asthma, if they were to capture someone with turn into someone with asthma, they will themselves have asthma. But it's just the serial that I watched with Doctor Who today was actually something that I actually had a major problem with a lot of TV shows. There's like a trope in a lot of TV shows where usually it's like when a character tries to show something to someone, like say for example, like in this TV show, the Doctor was trying to show a dead body to the commandant, like the leader of this airport that he was at, but when he got there, the body was gone. Like it's been moved. So he was made to look like a lunatic, and the entire time like, he was saying that one of his companions went missing. And then when he was forced back to the airport with the commandant, he his companion, quote unquote, showed up, but she didn't know who the Doctor was. And turns out that she was one of the aliens that had transformed into that character. And he just was made to look like an outright lunatic. And that's like something that happens in a lot of TV shows that I genuinely have a major problem with. And it's to me, it's like very cringe writing. A lot of TV shows do this, and I hate it so much. Like, I hate it so much that whenever I see it, it can often be like a deal breaker. Like, it can force me to just not want to watch the series again. This actually happened with Lucifer. I got up to like season 4 of Lucifer, and I fucking hated the direction the series was going. With every single time Lucifer tries to like do something to like win back his Chloe's trust, like it's always ends up poorly to him. He always says something stupid or embarrassing or something like that. And I just felt so uncomfortable watching this that I just stopped watching season 4. Season 5 is apparently really good, but I could not get through to season 4 because I didn't like the direction the series was going, because it had like a lot of cringy scenes. And thank God, like I eventually decided to just skip forward and just I decided to skip forward and just come back to that. God damn it. That skip forward to the uncomfortable bits and just continue watching the show episode normally. Because if I were to just like stop watching the series, like before I even get to like the color TV, essentially, like the really iconic characters like doctors like Tom Baker, I would just really beat myself up over. It's 26 seasons, and I haven't even like gone to the good parts of the show. I'll also say that it's a long and a large series. As I split it into 2 different parts, like what's called the New Who series and the Classic Who series. There are audio books, audio stories made with the characters from the Classic Who. There's with characters from Doctor Who. There are novels or comic books. There's like all this different types of media of different like doctors and stories like from Doctor Who. And it's a huge series, and it's maybe like overwhelming. Fuck off. It may be overwhelming for some people to like get into it because it's so long, but if you can just dedicate a little bit of your time just to watch a little bit of the series, you'll get through it like eventually. Been trying to watch like a serial a day, but sometimes it's just not able to watch that that much. And a lot of the serials in Doctor Who is actually like really good and well written. There's only some episodes that I just have a real problem with. But I can understand that some people may just get overwhelmed by this series. It's a huge fucking series. You need to give me power-ups game. And preferably either a minigun, machine gun, or a sheriff's badge. I was shooting at the bat, not the fucking wall. Holding left. I'm not even getting far in this anymore. I'm playing really bad. Like, this is one of those situations where I feel like I'm getting worse and not better. I've only been streaming for an hour and 7 minutes. What gives? I really dislike this game mode, the Prairie King stuff. It is just such an annoying game mode, but I'm so close to beating it. Since I beat it, I should be able to get the Factor's Challenge achievement for beating it without dying. It's so frustrating. Dude, if I didn't get stuck on that tombstone, I might have been able to escape that predicament. I got stuck on the tombstone. I was actually doing pretty good there, a little bit. That was embarrassingly bad. Yeah, that sounds like an example of me just playing worse. The longer I play. I don't know what would be. What would. How would I phrase that? I don't know what would be an example. Still sounds weird in my head. God, as soon as I get a good power up, I die. Oh my god, I want to beat this game today. I'm working on this for 4 streams now. Maybe 5. It's such an annoying game. If I can get past this game, if I can beat it, we're done for this playthrough. We can just like go into the create a new playthrough and we can go for the stupid JoJo Mar challenges. It's so frustrating. Eventually we'll get past this. What I keep telling myself. I would prefer it if it dropped some good power-ups though. Let's check something. Honestly, if I'm able to get the platinum for this game, this will probably be one of my more proud platinums. As of right now, like the game that I've been most proud of that I covered on this channel was me getting 100% and getting all the achievements for Skyrim. I kind of hold that game in high regard. I'm so proud that I got like everything done in that game, almost everything. Some quests that were glitched that I couldn't do, but that's one of the series that I'm most proud of. This game and Sim 3 Pets that I'm also covering, we'll be covering Sim 3 Pets next on Thursday. I am also I'm also really proud of because I will also be like very proud of because if I'm able to complete Stardew Valley and Sim 3 Pets, like it's not an easy thing to like do everything in those 2 games. Apologies if I just go radio silent for a minute. It's like I just need to be quiet to focus. If I just commentate, like it'll distract me. A lot of these games, most of the time when I play games like this on stream, like my mind goes on autopilot. This is something where I need to take manual control over my brain, essentially. I can't autopilot this game because then I just won't complete it. Like even like right now, like I'm not like focusing on the game right now, but as soon as I get into this game, I will focus on the game. It's just a lot of the times when I play these games on Twitch, my brain is just doing autopilot. Like I'm not really thinking about the game, I'm not strategizing or anything. I'm just doing. The only times hasn't really been the case was actually I'm doing like some bosses. There's some bosses that I just can't really do autopilot in, and I had to like focus. But one of those games where those things where I just can't really, I just need to be quiet and just focus. I did the same thing when I was covering Kingdom Hearts Chain Memories, which I am planning on going back to soon. It's gonna be a long break before I go back to it and reboot the playthrough. But when I played Kingdom Hearts Chain Memories, every single time I hit a boss, I had to like just be quiet and focus because I just couldn't commentate. I couldn't autopilot on those bosses. Like I had to pay attention to everything. Kind of the similar thing here. Like I can't just go on autopilot and just talk randomly like I'm used to. Like I have to pay attention. I have to focus. So difficult to pay attention to all elements of the field. That's why I hate this game mode. Is just you have to pay attention to everything, and I can't pay attention to everything. That's why I've been so reliant on power-ups, because I just can't pay attention enough to certain things on the field. I could not get that power up there. If I was able to get that machine gun, maybe I was able to do that, but there were so many enemies on top of that. Actually, just gonna reminder or something. In 1 second, I'm just hitting a text. Release. So I had to like clarify that like this artist that I'm currently working with to design the thumbnails for my YouTube channel. She just sent me like an image, like her thumbnail that she created for Stardew Valley, which actually looks pretty good. But unfortunately, I had to like clarify, just warn her about something relating to Sims 3 Pets, which is a game I'm again gonna be streaming on Thursdays. There are essentially two different Sims 3 Pets. One is a Pets expansion for Sims 3, and one is a standalone game, Sims 3 Pets, that released only on Xbox 360 and PS3. Two different games, three different platforms, but only two for the standalone game, one for the expansion of Sims 3. And they're kind of treated as completely separate games. The UI is different, the gameplay is different, like this location is different, the setting is different, is what I meant to say. Completely different games. I just want to like clarify. Just want to explain what the game was. I really hate it when freaking bats come in from off screen and instantly kills me because I'm just too close to the freaking wall. I'm gonna grab the smoke bomb and be ready to reposition myself if I get into trouble. My dog is barking again. I really do apologize for that. I actually was able to get some writing done today. Like, for the first time, like, I sat down and I wrote something related to my novel project. It's kind of like to get myself ready for preparing for writing book 2. Essentially, like, I was thinking about just getting started on writing book 2. Book 1 is being freshly edited, and afterwards I'm hoping to get it published. I did actually sit down and was able to make something serious. I was able to make some serious progress on it. God dang it! I kind of had the idea of like doing something unique for my story that I kind of feel that a lot of authors don't really focus entirely on, and it's just something to kind of give my story a little bit more flair. I think one thing that is generally like accepted by a lot of writers is like a good main character should have a goal to pursue, something that will cause them to change in their story. And that's something that like every writer should learn how to do, to like create goals for their characters, something for them to work on, something for them to that will cause them to change, like all this kind of stuff. But I had an idea of something I could do relating to my novel project, where essentially, basically, in my novel project, there's like a fictional agency called the Hide Agency, the Higher Investigation of Demonic Entities. And I try to make it apparent in book 1, like the importance for hide agents to essentially stand out from a crowd and just trying to like differentiate themselves. God damn it. Trying to like differentiate themselves from like other agents. So that they're not like doing the same thing as others, and like you're trying to like separate yourselves from the crowd, essentially trying to make yourself more unique, more stand out. So just doing what like a lot of people do, is just going to work in 9 to 5 business as usual, like nothing really different. And I tried to like make an effort in book one to emphasize the importance for certain people in like different careers to make themselves stand out more, because a lot of people, like especially people that want to get promoted, you don't want to just like go out there and just give your like average like daily work thing like as if like it's just like a normal experience. You want to give it your best. You want to show your superiors that you're really working hard, that you're innovating, that you're doing all this kind of like stuff so that you can have a chance to get promoted. That's essentially what I'm trying to like emphasize, that the importance of standing out, of like doing more than the average person, essentially. And that's something I was trying to emphasize in book one. And I was trying to like emphasize the importance of having like an actual goal to drive you towards that thing. And something that I was thinking about doing, and I actually think this would be a very good idea, is as well as each hide agent in my story should having a goal to pursue. I was thinking it would be kind of interesting to have a sort of code, like a moral code, or something that will just guide or influence their actions. I was actually kind of thinking that the word theme may be important, like the theme of the character. And what I was actually trying to do today is I was trying to like delve into the minds of each character, breaking down who they are as an individual, and trying to understand like what would their motivation, what would be their quote unquote code that will cause them to be influenced or changed throughout the course of the story. And I think I was able to do that, because I was breaking down like each character, and I was kind of had like a really good idea, something I could just work towards, something I could just emphasize with each character that would be like an important theme for them to revolve around within my story. And I wrote down like notes of dissecting like each character, and I kind of wrote down like a theme that would be fitting for their character and how they interact with the world and all this kind of stuff. And I think if I were to implement it properly, it could be like a very good story. It could like really add some layers to my story to make it like not as not like any other story, because I kind of feel there's a lot of so many authors I feel like don't really do this type of thing. I think it'd be kind of interesting to actually try and do something like that. The other thing that I want to say was what hit me? There's nothing there. The other thing I wanted to say was like a huge part of my story, of my novel project, is to experiment with the different types of form that is common in like the literary landscape. Like I'm gonna try to like experiment with different styles, like different ideas. Like an example is like I had an idea, something I could do. But before I like get into that, because that's kind of like a bit of spoiler territory. Like an example is like in book one, I was trying to experiment to see if I can develop multiple characters at the same time by writing different perspectives with each with their own unique style, I guess you could say. And I think I was successful in doing that. The other thing that I wanted to try and do, which is relating to this book, is seeing if I could develop two characters within one, if that makes sense. And there will be a plot line in book two where essentially the main character will, I guess you could say, be possessed. And it'll be like a very interesting thing where you have to like balance like two different characters' thoughts and ideas. And just trying to illustrate that. If they're essentially two different people just gonna happen in the same body, and I think that could be like an interesting challenge to have like different thoughts, different personas, I guess, that are taking control. And I was thinking about like different ways I could like illustrate that. Like maybe I could have like one, the part that's like the original, the host, like in one font, and the other, the possessor, in another font. It's something I was thinking about doing just to differentiate themselves. And I think that could work. And maybe I could just have like the possessor in italics or something. I think that could work. But it's just like a matter of trying to balance the inner dialogue, inner monologue of like two different characters and their own like different exchanges with one another like throughout the course of this. And it's something that I was thinking about experimenting. And for an example, when my character is essentially possessed, I was actually kind of thinking about just naming like the perspective what was once Alec Lowe or something, something along that nature. And I thought that'd be kind of cool if I were to do that. Alternatively, I could just give it the name of the possessor that was just possessing Alec, essentially. Alec Lowe is the main character in my first trilogy, that was obvious. I have like different ideas for different things I could do, like for pretty much all my books in my main series. There's something else I was thinking about doing is there's gonna be 4 trilogies and a final book that will work to like cap off the series. And something I was thinking about doing was actually damn it. The thing I was thinking about doing was actually I can't think what I was gonna say. Was writing like a separate trilogy, let's sort of like a intermission thing, where after each trilogy, like write a book that's part of a separate trilogy that's meant to be like a different like universe, different setting, different everything. And I was thinking about like writing like a superhero series, sort of like the inspired off like Marvel comics and DC comics, all this kind of stuff. But it's also kind of meant to be like a coming of age story. And it's like an idea that I had that is kind of inspired off of a certain Marvel character, combined with a certain it's essentially like an idea that I had that actually came from a dream, actually. But I think it was influenced by a Marvel character and actually a My Hero Academia character. How was that not okay? But the idea that I had for my superhero trilogy is essentially like it kind of involves like a certain gene that was discovered to be within certain people. Like it's not all humans, but it's some humans that is activated whenever someone experiences like a great shock or something. And it essentially causes the user to develop like certain like supernatural, some super, essentially superpowers. Again, like it's like very rare for something like this to happen. Like it's maybe like 1 in like 1,000 people, maybe like 1 in 10,000 people. the odds of it happening is just so freaking rare that there's not that many power users like in this world that I'm planning on creating. But the people that do have these powers are often like can be like very problematic for the police force. And I had an idea of essentially the concept of like a superhero that realized that he wasn't getting like as well paid for his wasn't getting like well paid for his as a superhero, and he thought that he could like earn more from a life of crime. And essentially, god damn it, essentially he turned into like from a hero to a villain, like in a moment where essentially like the main character was just was with his mom like traveling somewhere, and his chaos ends up like causing an accident that kills like the main character's mom when he was like 8 years old. And that moment was so traumatic for him that his feeling of loss was just so great that he awakened his powers. And it turned out to be like a very powerful ability where he kind of opens up with him like creating like a black box that kind of surrounds the hero turned villain and essentially incapacitates him and knocks him out. And it's like a very powerful ability, but he loses control of it as he got older and started developing puberty. And a large part of the story is him like experiencing like his struggles like as a freshman in high school, while also learning to control his newfound powers. And it's really kind of meant to be like very interesting, I guess, because it's really meant to be relatable to a certain like demographic. It's meant to target like a younger audience rather than like an older audience that might what I call the Dem Saga essentially developed into. But it's like an idea that I think it will work. I just sit down and write it. Like, it's a very interesting concept, and I think it would be very successful. But as of this moment, like, it's just an idea at this point. Like, I've only sat down and planned things out, but I think it could be an interesting thing. I actually liked it so much that I came up with names for the books. Like, basically, like, the power type that this kid is able to use, it essentially manipulates shadows and darkness. Like, he could teleport, he could like manipulate light sources. Like, he could like dim the light in my room or just make it like completely switch off. He can like influence the lights and make it like dark. And whenever he is in the shadow, he can like teleport like anywhere to there's another shadow. So in theory, like he could when he's within darkness, he is like totally invisible. And while actually, no, that's not true. I'm sorry. Like, when he's in darkness, he actually kind of turns into, like, a sort of like a demonic character that is referred to as the Night Stalker. Referred to as the Night Stalker by him. And it's only, like, within that darkness is he able to, like, actually do some, like, very incredible things. But he is, at the start of the story, like, he went from, like, being, like, very powerful, like, as 8 years old to, like, being very weak at, like, 14. And, because of the fact that puberty has affected, like, his powers, so much that he just can't really control anything. Like, his emotions, his hormones are just directly impacting his ability to control his powers. And I think that would be like a very interesting concept. But like the idea that I had for my novel for this project is essentially naming each book like something of the Night Stalker. And for an example is the first book will be called Rise of the Night Stalker. I'm sorry, The Birth of the Night Stalker. The second book will be called Rise of the Night Stalker. And the third book will be called Legend of the Night Stalker, and I think it'll be like a very interesting story if I'm actually able to successfully write it. And it's, again, I guess, meant to be directed towards like a younger demographic. And it's actually entirely possible that I may not actually be successful in writing this story. Got cornered. I actually may not be successful in writing this story because it is just so, it's just directed like towards like a younger audience. I'm not used to writing like young and old stuff, but it could be like a very good story. And I actually kind of have ideas of things I could do for that series, and like ideas for different antagonists. At one point, I had like all three antagonists like planned out. Like I had ideas for like, all three antagonists, but I forgot the third one. Now I can only remember two. But additionally, like when I finished my fourth trilogy in relation to my main novel series, I was thinking about writing like an autobiography of sorts that kind of shows my evolution, my growth as a writer, my evolution, and the process of, and how my series, I guess, kind of evolved as I grew older, essentially. And it essentially meant to be like an autobiography that is meant to be like an autobiography that will be released alongside the final book of the main series. And I think I try to write like what will be like the first couple chapters, first chapter of this idea for a project, and I'm definitely gonna be writing it heavily. But I wrote like a first chapter which kind of focuses on like a trauma that I experienced as a kid, and I was so negative. This trauma ended up like causing me to believe that I was a bad person when I actually wasn't. I was being gaslit and believing I was. But this thing that happened to me when I was a kid ended up forcing me to develop depression, and I was suicidal. I couldn't forgive myself over what happened. I thought that what I did was so bad that I just was a bad person, like because of how it was implied by my the person who essentially yelled at me and ostracized me from my family. It's like a horrible like event that happened to me, and I really should have known better, but I didn't. But because of that experience, like I was led to believe that I was essentially a horrible person, and I just could not. I could not forgive myself until I was like 26 years old. 26, 20. Either 26 or 27, I think it's 26. I couldn't forgive myself until I was 26 years old, and I just believed that I was I believed for the longest time that I was a bad person, and I left my religion. I was a Christian when I was younger. I left my religion because I thought what I did was so bad that God wouldn't forgive me. Like a horrible thing. I tried to kill myself 3 times in my life because of what I experienced. And it was just like a horrible, horrible experience. And it wasn't until like I wrote that story that was horribly written, and I viewed myself rather antagonistically. And because of that, the people who were reading it, which wasn't the right audience for that type of thing, viewed me antagonistically. Some people dropped out of the class. A few people, a couple people reported me into like mental health things. Like I felt so bad, and felt like I was legitimately questioning my path as a writer and wondering if I was even like good enough as a writer to actually continue to write, essentially. it was just such a horrible experience, and I just damn it. It wasn't until like after that event happened, like after I kind of dealt with the repercussion, people dropped out, and I just felt like so bad. And I finally like sit down and I talk with my doctor, and I confess like what I've been experiencing, and he told me that what I did was essentially normal for a kid to do. It essentially was a form of mimicry, which children do all the time, and the fact that I realized that I didn't know what I was trying to do at the time, like I was just and the fact that I just assumed that I did, like as an adult looking back, and the fact that I immediately corrected my behavior after I realized that it was wrong, which is a process of normalization, instead of just continuing that behavior, which would be problematic. It made me realize that what I did was bad, sure, but it's actually kind of a normal thing to do, and what I did was actually not as bad as it could be. And it would be even worse if I were to continue trying to do that. If I didn't learn anything from that experience. Jesus Christ! So many bats! Anyway, I'm running out of time here. I think I may just have to, like, end it off here. I think so bad. But, once I realized the truth and that it wasn't, like, I wasn't, like, entirely to blame, and I was essentially gaslit my entire life by essentially my aunt, who was a cruel and manipulative person. Just always has been. But once I realized that was the case, I finally was able to forgive myself after, like, 26 years, 18 years, and, but 10 years old. Yeah, 18 years. And, it was kind of like relieving to be able to kind of see that event like in a different light. Just give me my last attempt. It's just, it was kind of a traumatic experience for, like, me as a kid, and eventually, like, I kind of discovered that it wasn't as bad as I have been led to believe. Give me another power up, please. Oh! Alright, well, that would have been it. I could feel it in my bones. I'm gonna call it here. If you are remotely interested in what you see today, all the games I cover on my channel will be played for instant completion. I hit my limit today. I've been progressively playing worse for the past hour and a half, so I'm gonna call it. I'm going to be streaming Stardew Valley yet again on Tuesdays and Fridays, 1 p.m. to 5 Pacific Standard Time. Friday, we should be able to beat this game. I would be very surprised if we don't. I'm going to be streaming Sims 3 Patch for 1% completion on Thursdays and Saturdays, 1 p.m. to 5 Pacific Standard Time. And I'm going to be streaming infamous 100% completion and the Platinum Trophy on Sundays, 1 p.m. to 5 Pacific Standard Time. That's going to do it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.